Hey, how's it going? Episode 6 here, 2018, August 10th to be exact. And you know, it's great when summer comes around. You can shed the winter clothes, hit the beach, enjoy the weather. But then you realize, ah, shit, look at all the work I gotta do. I had to repair these stairs. The old ones were rotten, had to tear them down, build these new ones. And you know, summer's great, but then it means a lot of work as well. But it's not all a loss, because I can make a guitar out of some of the spare wood. Yeah, as you see, it's going to say Burk on the guitar, and if all goes well, this will be a great guitar, I hope. I'll use the neck from a guitar that I smashed and stick it on top of this and put some pickups and whatnot in here and see what happens.
Oh, I gotta get away. It's time to hit the beach. I know just the place. Port Stanley, Ontario, Canada. There's a cute cottage there. I think I'll stay a week. Oh yeah.
Oh, what a great summer day here in Canada. You know, people often think of Canada as just snow and Eskimos and freezing temperatures, maple syrup. Even though that's true, but in the summer, it's just as nice as anywhere else. You might as well think you're in the Caribbean. You know, and here in Southern Ontario, in Canada, we're surrounded by beautiful beaches. You know, we got Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, Lake Huron, phenomenal beaches. And my favorite, Port Stanley on Lake Erie. It's great. I'll show you around.
Ah, there's my dog Toby, enjoying the beach. What a beautiful day in Port Stanley. The water's so blue and calm. Oh, just listen to the sound of those waves. So relaxing. What a great place to unwind. The wind in your hair. You know, when you're relaxed, you can get very creative and come up with great song ideas. What should I write about? Oh wait, I think I see a song right now. Man, listen to that melody. This is gonna be a good song. Now there's a guitar solo for you. Yeah, so how will the chorus go? Let's see. What's the chorus gonna be like? Oh, there you go. That's gonna be a good chorus. Great harmonies. I can just hear it now. Oh, the song's all falling into place now. What a place to be creative. Yeah. Just love the beach. What a great atmosphere. What's Toby looking at? What's that, boy? Huh? Oh, you found an ending to the song. Yeah, that's a nice ending, buddy. Yeah, yep, mouth watering good. Pretty crazy waves here today. You know, Port Stanley can be very calm and beautiful blue water, but days like today, very windy and rough, and it was fun when we were kids. We used to swim in this shit with inner tubes and body surf. It was fun, but there's a very dangerous undertow here in wherever I am, Port Stanley. And many kids have drowned here, but you know, still was fun to take the risk. Luckily, they got life-saving equipment here at the beach on days like this. Definitely need it. And even on the main beach, they got at least 5 lifeguards on duty. Look at this water. Look how brown it gets. It's so rough, it stirs up the sand, creating this brown look. It looks like it's dirty, but it's not. It's just sand stirred up. That's how rough it is. It's pretty amazing how this lake can get rough, just as an ocean. But if you're aware of the undertow and how to deal with it if you get caught into it, don't fight it and know how to get out, you can have fun, like these people. Look at this windsurfer having a great time. What an awesome day for this. Totally amazing. The Great Lakes are amazing. All fresh water. Look at that. Awesome. There's the new pier that was built here in Port Stanley. That cost millions and millions of dollars. It's world class. It's really great. After my mom died, the only place that gave me any peace and tranquility was coming here to Port Stanley. For some reason, it just cured the blues. It could be because she brought us here. We rented a cottage ever since we've been kids. I've been coming here since age 4 with my dad, and then numerous times with my mom renting the same cottage. So a lot of great memories. It's very calming here, very peaceful. Port Stanley's the best. Here's some great pictures that my dad took of us on the beach. The very same beach in Port Stanley. Amazing. There's my 2 older brothers, Shannon and Chris, playing in a blow-up pool. My sister's filling it up with a bucket of water. Looks like a wavy day even then. Cool. There's my older brother, Chris. There's my sister. And then me with no shirt, as usual. Looks like I have a sunburn. I doubt it's a tan. Probably a burn, because I don't think they had sunscreen back then. Jeez. I remember these pictures being taken vividly. Sitting on those stairs, playing with those toys, being amazed by my brother's toy airplane. Totally remember these taken. And I also remember staring at this water, dancing and playing. I was amazed at this water fountain that I thought it was. And then I was kind of amazed to find out that you actually drink out of it. I thought it was kind of high. I remember this day vividly. And here I am soaked. My dad was obviously amused by me doing this and took lots of pictures. Here's us all walking along the fence of the Ball Diamond, and I remember that well, and there's me, as you can see. And just the other day at the beach, I thought I would take the same replica picture, roughly in the same spot. So there's Shannon, Chris, me in the diapers, and my sister Sue. Well, during the 70s, my mom got us into raising monarch butterflies. And what better place to do that is to search for caterpillars in Port Stanley, because there's lots of them there, munching away on milkweed. So what do? See where the butterflies fly. More often than not, they'll land on a milkweed plant. Not like this picture examples, but here's a great example of a milkweed plant at the cottage that I'm renting this year. And here I am, searching under leaves, looking for a caterpillar munching away. Nothing on that plant. But look what I found. Look at this great example of a monarch caterpillar. Healthy, munching away on a plant. And unbelievably, this plant is growing right beside the cottage we rented. Amazing. Oh, even more amazing, he had a friend. Look at that. 2 caterpillars right at the cottage that I was renting. And, cool. So that was easy. Let's raise them up. When we were kids, my mom would get us to walk around Port Stanley, check out all the milkweed plants, and look under the leaves in search of the monarch caterpillar. And when we'd find one, we'd put them in a jar, give them fresh milkweed, raise them, let them turn into adult caterpillars, and then turn into a chrysalis, and then turn into the magnificent monarch butterfly. It's quite amazing. I've seen the whole process from an egg to caterpillar to etc. So, in memory of that, I found myself 2 caterpillars just next door. I didn't even have to look. It was amazing. So, got them here in this jar. This is going to be fun. So the cottage that we rented during the 60s, 70s, and 80s looks similar to this picture. This is not the actual cottage, but the layout is exactly how it was. The cottage that we rented was out front like this one, and then the owners of that cottage, which was Mrs. Ellis, had their cottage closer to the beach, like the yellow one in this picture. Very similar. So yeah, the cottage was owned by Mrs. Ellis, kind of a big fat lady, and she was the sister of her Aunt Margaret, and her son Bill built the cottage that they rented out, like you see in this picture, but not as nice as this one, but you get the idea. We were so lucky to have an aunt that had a sister that owned a cottage at Port Stanley, because it gave us great memories, and without those memories of being at the beach, man, I'd feel kind of empty. Because that really adds great value to your memory bank, that's for sure.
Well, this very spot is where our cottage used to be that we used to rent as kids. Now it's gone.
Yeah, it's amazing to see that this place is gone now. It used to be here. Now it's just an empty lot. Well, we used to come out the door here, then we'd walk down to the beach this way. Many times. Well, it's nice to see that the yellow cottage is still here. Mrs. Ellis, who we used to rent from, lived in this cottage. So every time I come down to Port Stanley, I always make a point to visit the old cottage area, visit this cottage, visit this very beach that we played on as kids, seeing the old willow tree that we played under many times. It's amazing it's still here, glad to see, and it'll be here long before we're gone. It's very therapeutic coming here. Ah yes, the old bonfire pit. Great times roasting marshmallows over a roaring fire.
You know, every time I come down to Port Stanley, I make a point to come down to this very beach where we grew up, rented a cottage and played here. It's amazing. Great memories. You know, the same grass that we ran through, the same sand that we played in, same sun. It's awesome.
The Monarch Caterpillar Update.
So I happen to have two in here. They've been munching away on this milkweed leaf, and now they're taking a break. And they've perched up here on the lid. As you can see, they're right there, hanging around on the lid. And what I believe they're doing now is they're getting ready to shed their skin and this to crawl out of the old skin and turn into a larger caterpillar. So we'll see.
So here's the cottage that we rented this year, and pretty odd looking, but you know what? It used to be an old fishing cabin, so pretty cool to stay in that. And the inside was done up really well. It's very cute, actually. And the owners of this is Doug Weir, the singer of the Canadian hair band Sire, as you see here, and his wife. Check him out on YouTube. So come on in, we'll show you Doug's cottage. It's amazing, you can easily sleep 8 people here. Right when you walk in, you got a love seat with a curtain for privacy. You can curl up there. In the living room, you got a pull-out couch and another couch. A kitchen fully stocked with everything you'd ever need. You got a gas fireplace in the back there. You got TV, stereo, and up the stairs in the back there, you come up to a bedroom with a double bed and a love seat, dresser, and girl not included. And then it's amazing you can fit that up there. And then off of that is a sunroom with a futon double bed in it, which acts as a couch as well. Pretty cool. And you got some neat little antiques up there as well. Cool little touch. And like the table, the candle holders, and the lamp. It was great. Ah, time to hit the main public beach.
Oh, what a lovely day, man. Beautiful. Oh, hello there.
Hi.
What are you doing?
How long does it take to get to the main beach?
How long does it take to get to the main beach? Well, it's funny how you ask. Well, it takes 5 freezies. And lucky you got a freezy there, so have fun. Off to the main beach. You know, when I was younger, everyone would ask me, how long does it take to get to the main beach from the beach that we rented when we were younger? And I always knew that it took 5 freezies because I would eat them from point A to point B. And by the time I got to the main beach, I was done my 5th freezy. So we're gonna go to the main beach and freezy number 1. And after this, 4 more, we'll be at the main beach. See you later.
Relaxing at the main public beach. This is great. Man, she could save me anytime. I'm drowning. Hey, look at that. A palm tree in Canada. Look at those cottages. Right on the main beach. Lucky bastards. I love coming during the week like this, where the main beach isn't that crowded. It's a lot more enjoyable. On the weekends it's just packed. It's crazy. Look at those waves. What a great day for body surfing. GTs on the beach. Pretty cool. Drink them up, eat them up. They got it all there. Or you can even play volleyball. If you're into that kind of thing on the beach, kind of a typical activity. Or you could be stupid like this guy and stand up and surf. No thanks. Too much work. Yep, here's the water hitting the pier. Very dangerous undertow there. A lot of people have drowned. This pier has been recently upgraded. Millions of dollars. Now it's like world class. The best pier in Lake Erie, guaranteed, is in Port Stanley. Check this out. This is the ritual here is you get your ice cream, you walk out on the pier, and here I am standing enjoying, halfway out the pier, enjoying the view. This grass here, this used to be all water, but they dumped dirt and planted grass and trees, made a park. Pretty cool. What a huge endeavor. There's the Marine Rescue Building, and some people walking back from the pier. There's the main beach, looking from the pier. Great view. Oh, man, I'm hungry. Time to get something to eat. Now, when you come down to Port Stanley, it's a must. You gotta eat at Mackey's. This place is legendary. Look at this place. It's been around since 1911. Well, it didn't look like this building. It used to be a little shack. Look at these little seagulls. They're waiting for handouts. They know fries are coming out those doors, and people are going to drop them.
Now, when you come to Port Stanley, you have to come to Mackey's to get their famous fries. These guys have been around since the beginning of time.
Here's a picture of the original shack that they built in 1911. That's all it was. Amazing. And then it just kept growing and growing, and they didn't always sell French fries. That did not start until 1930. It was a completely new idea. So yeah, look at this building. Union Jack flying above. Not the Canadian flag, the Union Jack. Pretty cool. Let's look at the menu. Great prices. Shit, look at the lineup. There's always a massive lineup here. But you can see why. Look at those fries. And that orangeade flowing. They don't have lemonade, they got orangeade. That's pretty cool. Yummy indeed. Look at those fries. Made to perfection. But you know what? I'm gonna step it up. I want cheese and chili on mine. Look at that. Now that is a dish of fries. Oh yeah. Pretty good.
Ah, yes, my orange Emily shake. It's like a creamsicle. Beautiful. And my chili cheese fries. Great. Oh, yeah.
What a great view from the Mackey's window while you eat. How great is that? Now for something sweet and cool.
Now, no day at the beach is complete without getting yourself an ice cream.
And there's no better place in Port Stanley than Broddick's Ice Cream Parlor, right in the heart of town. Look at this place. Like you step back in time. Look at that ice cream. They don't cheap you out here. And homemade waffle cones, man, those are good. You can just smell the aroma when you walk in. The till here is ringing off the hook, non-stop, day and night. These girls, the staff here, just go freaking mental. They must, because the lineups are always massive. There's a huge flavor list. It's amazing, the selection. man, look at those waffle cones. And look at my cone being served. Strawberry cheesecake. I can't hardly wait. Oh yeah. Cheers.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers!
Yeah, no day at the beach is complete without your ice cream. Then after that, you head down to the beach and digest and watch the sun set. Oh yeah.
You know, there's nothing better than hooking up with a beautiful girl in the summertime, on the beach. You build yourself a bonfire, roast some marshmallows, then you make love all night long. And yeah, I wrote a song about just doing that. And this girl was wicked, I tell you. Check out the video now.
nothing like waking up in the morning and hitting the beach.
Man, the beach life is for me. Oh, what a beautiful sunrise here on the road to rock.
I feel like a pirate every time I'm on the beach. There's lots of treasures to be had, and your spirit is set free.
What a great day to go surfing. Oh man, that was great. What a great day here in Port Stanley, Ontario. Back to the road to rock. Well, one of my favorite things to do in Port Stanley is to go down to the local fish markets in the harbor and get myself some fresh perch. And here we go. I'm not sure how fresh this package is since it says special on it.
Ah yes, the beautiful, magnificent perch. What a great place to catch these perch and to eat them up and fry them up is in Port Stanley. Look at this beautiful harbor in Port Stanley. There's all the fishing boats resting after a night of fishing. Ah, this is a nice evening here. Great place to relax and have an ice cream. You know, when I was a kid, I used to love coming down to the harbor, checking out the fishing boats, seeing what kind of a catch they have. My imagination ran wild at the excitement they must have had of reeling in the big catches of perch and pickerel and bass and mermaids. I don't know. In my mind, anyways. I always loved fishing. Still do. And the big name for the fishery in Port Stanley is the Jackson family.
But anyways, we're going to fry this up. The best way to cook perch is to fry it in a pan with some spices. It just brings out the flavor and it's fantastic. So, let's cook.
Yeah, so get your pan all nice and hot. Add some butter, margarine, spread it around. Throw in your fillets of perch. And season up. I like using lemon, pepper, garlic, whatever. So many options. Listen to that sizzle. 10 minutes later, they're done. Serve them up. Surprise your guests. They're in for a treat. She can hardly contain herself right here. She doesn't look too excited. Well, she will be when she eats it, and we'll see. Cheers.
Oh yes, fresh fried perch. Amazing.
The Monarch Caterpillar Update. Well, when I thought they were shedding their skin, I was wrong. They're actually ready to turn into a chrysalis. Here they are, hanging upside down.
Yeah, so once the caterpillar has had its fill of milkweed, it will find itself a branch or go under a leaf of the milkweed plant and glue its ass to the bottom of it so it can then hang upside down like this, in a J shape. And every once in a while you'll see him doing contractions or what looks like to be sit-ups because it's trying to bust through its skin, finally. And underneath its skin will be the chrysalis, which will be where the butterfly will be transforming into itself. So I'm waiting patiently for this guy to do that. I'm really surprised they're doing this so soon. I expected them to grow bigger, but I guess not. So this guy here is starting to spin a web on the surface of this lid. And he'll then stick his ass to it, and then himself will, or herself, hang upside down. And this guy is trying his best to bust out of his skin. I think he's trying to pull himself out of its own head. It's so crazy. Well, this guy just weaved a little nodule, and then he stuck his ass over it. And I think he shoved it up his ass. Then I think, I don't know, he glues himself to it. And at this point, he's just waiting for it to harden. Then he will hang upside down, like his buddy here, who's still trying to turn into a chrysalis. But he's not having any luck yet. Okay, after staying out most of the night, waiting for this caterpillar on the left to turn into a chrysalis, nothing happened, so I had a nap. I couldn't stand it anymore. So I wake up to find this scene. It still hasn't turned into a chrysalis. The guy on the right is now hung upside down and turned into a J shape. So I find it very suspicious that the guy on the left hasn't turned into a chrysalis. So what's going on with him? He actually doesn't even look too healthy. He looks kind of dehydrated. The attachment to the lid doesn't even look very strong compared to the guy on the right. It's a nice healthy web. He's very hydrated, seemingly. So I have a suspicion that the guy on the left has eaten a parasite.
All aboard! You know, in Port Stanley, another cool thing is taking a train ride. You know, back in the early 1900s, many people took a train down to the beach. There was only horses and buggies, and very few people had Model T cars. So the train was the popular way to come down, and pretty cool. Now you can just still relive the past and take a train ride, even today. Pretty cool. So when the train was a really popular way to bring fellow Canadians down to the beach, to bring people from the United States, they had ferries. They came across Lake Erie, came and partied at Port Stanley. There were casinos, rides, the Store Club, which had big bands playing. It was really quite the place to be. Another great thing to do is to sit by the harbor and wait for every 30 minutes, and you'll see the bridge go up. This is so cool. I've always loved this. Still love it even today. Look at that. Every 30 minutes the bridge will go up and allow boats, sailboats and whatnot go underneath, because it's too low, obviously, so it has to go up. This is the oldest lift bridge in Ontario, built in 1939. And another very popular bridge that works just the same is the one in London, England, Tower Bridge. Well, it's amazing. I remember every time I went to the beach, and I'm so glad for that. Way back in 1967-68, I remember these pictures taken, like I mentioned earlier. My dad took them, and this is the time that my dad was holding me in the water, like I mentioned in episode Road to Rock 4. And I was afraid that the edge of the water, the horizon, was the edge of the world. And he encouraged me to be thinking this, which is kind of crazy. To him it may have been just fun and games, but to me it was terrifying. The year that I remember that was my favorite time going to the beach was 1980. Sweet 16. Totally coming into my prime. You know, Van Halen, I was a major fan. And already seen 3 tours of them, opening up with Sabbath in the first tour, Van Halen 2. And I just saw Van Halen Women and Children first, so I was a major Van Halen fan. And I seen pictures of David Lee Roth with a skateboard, so I thought, hey, I better start skateboarding. So I did. So I'd start skateboarding everywhere, down the streets and even on the side of the pier at Port Stanley. Pretty crazy and dangerous, but hey, fun. You know, and David Lee Roth was in great shape, same with Eddie Van Halen, so I thought, hey, I better start working out. So at the beach, I had no weight, so I made some homemade ones with a board and some cinder blocks. That worked great. And then when not working out, I go sailing. That's a great activity. Still love doing that today. And then when I'm not doing that, you just relax on the beach and pose for the camera. Shit. Sun tanning. You know, I wanted to be everything that Van Halen represented to me. But I pretended I was in California when I was at the beach. That was just me. And what could be better than the beach? Love on the beach. For sure. And luckily, I came across this beauty named Marla. It was love at first sight. Total magic. Look at that hair, that body, that adorable face. It was fantastic. And you know, I remember this year so well, 1980, because I would listen to Queen's new release, The Game, over and over and over. Man, that was cool. And when Marla left, oh well, Tammy came along. Magic reappeared. That was great. And when love wasn't in the air, hormones sure were. And they were mainly mine, especially on the beach in Port Stanley. The 80s, teenage dreams sure do come true. And man, there was this beautiful girl on the beach, just stunning. And I thought, you know, just recently, there's no way that girl was that good looking. There's no way. So I look back in the photo albums, I go, oh my god, she's amazing. She was real. It wasn't just my imagination. It's absolutely stunning. I'm in love all over again. This girl was a beach goddess. She paraded around the beach like she was from heaven, and she was. And she, she'd wink and smile because she knew I was in love with her, because I'm just this little horny 16-year-old in awe of her gorgeousness. So I had to document it. I took out my little pocket camera, took some photos of her, and man, here they are, just stunning. She was like Farrah Fawcett in person. She was that good looking. And I wonder where she is now. Wonder what her name was. What a goddess. So during the 80s, there was a great rock bar on the beach in Port Stanley. Can't remember the name of it, but I remember walking by one evening, being 16, and I heard this amazing sound, and I was totally drawn to it because I'm a major rock fan at 16, and I still am. And there was this Canadian artist named Lake Erie. She was unsigned at the time. She's better known as a metal queen now. She didn't get signed until about 1984, around there, or her big breakthrough album came out then. Anyways, we're watching her, and I'm thinking, this is great. She's like a female version of Dio. How cool. They're playing metal. And so the window was open, bikers are partying. They say, hey, jump on in, kid. So yeah, I jumped on in. I was like, fuck yeah. Jumped over the table, spilt their drinks. I started headbanging in the aisle. Isn't that what you do when you're listening to a band? That's what I did when I was 16. So, dead giveaway that I'm underage. I get kicked out. But I continued to listen, and when she was done, I went to the back of the building, climbed up on the roof, hoping to get a glimpse of Lake Erie changing in her band room. What a pervert. Me and this other guy. So she looks out the window, she's laughing, and she goes in a flirtatious manner, what are you boys up to? And we're like, fuck yeah, it's Lake Erie. It's totally starstruck. It was great. Lake Erie is still going strong today, and she looks just as good, if not better. What the hell? Must be the Canadian water. So back in 1984, my sister Susan decided to take a break from dancing with the National Ballet, probably her holidays, and we drove down and stayed at the Mrs. Ellis cottage. We drove down in a newly purchased car, and she borrowed the money from her grandparents, and went down, stayed. Here's me in my David Lee Roth outfit, trying to get the hair down and the look down, weaving back then. And here's some of the photos we took. I don't remember much of the stay there, but here's the photos. Well, in 1989, me and Laurette, a past girlfriend that I had, camped at Port Stanley, on top of the hill right behind the main public beach. It was amazing. They had a campsite there. It was so convenient. But now it's just all condos. They built them up and ruined the campsite. So that really sucks, but I'm glad I had the chance to camp there at least anyways. That was pretty cool. Yep, the 1990s. I never miss a decade. I've been going to the beach since I was born. That's amazing. Every decade. So this year, in 1993, I go with Sheila, a girlfriend of mine during then. And she liked to fish, I think, or I made her fish, I'm not sure. So here we are fishing in the harbor. And did we catch anything? Not so much. But when we went to the pier, oh yeah, they were biting. Here I am catching all sorts of shit. Rock bass, and whatever the fuck that thing is, some sheephead fucking thing. But yeah, that was fun. We interrupt this program with breaking news, the monarch caterpillar report. Here the caterpillar is hanging upside down. He's been hanging up for a while. Now he's ready to bust out of his skin. He's trying his damnedest. He's doing sit-ups and contractions, and he must just be getting a headache hanging upside down. He must be going, I gotta get out of this caterpillar costume. I can't stand it any longer. I gotta break out.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Caterpillar is finally turning into a chrysalis. Look at that. I cannot believe it. I almost fell asleep. I just turned around and took a look, and here he is, busting out of his skin. This is great. There he is, busting out of his skin. Pretty cool, eh? This is how he sheds his skin. This is what he looked like underneath that skin. So he's getting naked, basically. Well, it's only been a minute later from when I last talked to you, and you can see gold dots forming on it. It's a very quite quick transformation. Still wiggling around, not sure what the purpose of that is. Maybe getting comfortable, or it's just a nervous twitch, I don't know. But it's very conscious. It's not a dead, lifeless thing. It's very aware of what it's doing. From a caterpillar to breaking out of its skin, and to this. It's still very much a living thing. You can still see one of the caterpillar's claws stuck to the side. Interesting, eh? And now he's going to start changing color to gold and black stripes with some pretty cool markings. So this is the monarch butterfly in the first initial stages. And it's going to develop, and you can see it changing color as we're filming. You can see the gold stripe forming there. It's pretty cool. So here you'll see at the bottom of the glass his skin suit, basically. His caterpillar costume. It was all facade. He was really a butterfly. There you go, what we've been waiting for. Mr. Caterpillar has turned into a chrysalis. He's really, I guess he wasn't really a caterpillar after all. He was really this, a monarch butterfly. The initial stages, hiding within that caterpillar costume. Ooh, I better not shake him around too much, it'll fall off and I'll fuck the whole thing up. Yeah, so the top part is still the ass of the caterpillar, or the alien that was pretending to be a caterpillar, but really the butterfly. And his ass is still stuck to the top. You see that black thing on the side? That's a claw of the caterpillar. I don't know why it's still stuck to him. Interesting gold band going around the body. That will be the body of the butterfly, believe it or not, but it'll be a lot thinner. And what happens when this thing hatches, the fluid from that body goes into the wings, which is that light colored green, which looks like a head of a penis, like I mentioned before. Those are really the wings. So all the fluid from the body will go into those wings, making the butterfly's body a lot thinner. And he's still wiggling around. At the very tip there, you can almost see his eyes. You see there are two black things or something. That's still the eyes. Very interesting. He's still going through the transformation. It's only been 10-15 minutes. So it was a caterpillar, and now it's this. Pretty freaky. And you got these interesting markings happening on it. As I'm talking, you can just see it changing in color. And it's very cool.
Don't you just hate it when you go to the beach? You want to just relax and suntan. You look over your shoulder and you see a fucking sign saying, "Private beach, keep off," and there's no one in sight. It's just a bunch of old fucks that own these cottages who don't even go on the beach, and they just can't stand anyone else enjoying their beach. So they put these little signs up. So it's like, fuck you. We'll go down to the clay banks. This is the most beautiful part of Port Stanley, anyways. It's abandoned. There's no cottages, no people. Well, except for the odd naked freak or two couples doing naughty stuff. But yeah, it's a great primal private area. It feels like an abandoned island. It's very cool. So I go down there, and you can obviously suntan, but I hate laying in the sun doing nothing. So I build huts, suntanning beds, etc. out of driftwood, and it's really fun to do. And I even made a bathroom. Built a privacy wall with some driftwood right behind some tall grass. Used a hollow log for a shitter. Even built a toilet paper holder. Pretty cool. Yeah, what a great place to relax and suntan and build stuff. It's just phenomenal. Have a fire even. Roast some marshmallows. Bring down some girlfriends and have some romance. And another great way to see the beautiful clay banks is, you know, blow up boat or raft or whatever you may have. And here I am doing just that. And we hit the water, and what a great view when you're floating around out there checking out the clay banks and the water. It's absolutely stunning. It's so nice by the clay banks. Even my brother Chris got married there. Unbelievable. And you know, the sunsets are just magnificent. You just gotta check it out for yourself. Well, I'm so glad that Janet and I had a great road trip down to Port Stanley this August 2018. It was great. What a great place to relax and unwind and get some great song ideas. And you know, no stay at the beach is complete without the yummy taste of Mrs. Ella Squares. The big fat lady that we used to rent a cottage from used to whip up these amazing marshmallow peanut buttery delights. And she'd go, yoo-hoo, come and get it. And we came running, good stuff.
Hey, and how do you make those amazing Mrs. Ella Squares? You just need some peanut butter, some mini colored marshmallows, and some butterscotch chips in a pan and a little bit of margarine, and let's make them up. So all you need to do is put your pot on the stove, set it on low heat, add your butter, your peanut butter, and then the butterscotch chips. Oh yeah, I think it's cooled down enough. So now that it's cooled down a bit, add your marshmallows. Then just mix all together. Oh yeah, this is gonna be great. You know, Mrs. Ellis was pretty nice to make this for us when we were kids. She made us a lot of food. God, no wonder why she was so fat. But at least she shared it. That was very nice of her. You know, I remember I was thinking when I was stirring this up, we used to walk down to the beach and past her cottage. She had the clothesline. And I was like, hey, Mrs. Ellis is drying her bed sheets or her tent or something on the clothesline. And I really thought that. And my mom's like, no, that's her underwear. We're like, oh my God. So now that that's all mixed, you just get a pan and just lightly butter it. Then dump the mixture into the pan. Then just spread it around. Flatten it out. Now just stick the pan into the fridge and let it cool. Okay, now they're all chilled. Let's cut some squares out. Oh yeah, look at that. Man, these are gonna be good. Oh yeah. Oh man, these are gonna be great. Check those out. Pretty good. Figured I'll try them out on my new stairs. You know, they seem pretty strong. You know, I think strong enough to hold up Mrs. Ellis. And that's pretty strong, I tell you that. Anyways, to Mrs. Ellis and her peanut butter marshmallow squares. Mrs. Ellis delights. This is good as I remembered.
We interrupt this program with horrifying news.
Well, day 3 of the chrysalis. Here it is. I didn't think anything was wrong with it. I just brought it home from the beach here in Kitchener, survived the trip, thinking that I survived the trip. But no, I think there's a hole in the side of them, right there. And I looked at the bottom of the jar that it was in, and a horrifying sight I discovered. I look at the bottom of the jar. What the fuck is that? This little bastard worm ate the caterpillar, chrysalis, and hatched, and jumped out of the side of the body of the chrysalis, and now he's roaming around thinking he's king, because he killed the monarch butterfly. Isn't that fucking lovely? Isn't nature grand? So 2 butterflies never will make it to Mexico because of these fucking things.
And these bastard things are the larvae, or maggots, to the dechinid fly. How nice, it lays its eggs on the poor innocent caterpillar, usually the monarch. And as you can see, eats it alive, before it can even become a butterfly. That thread that you see hanging from the chrysalis earlier in the video is actually the little bungee cord that the maggot used to climb out of the chrysalis and swing down to the ground. How nice.
Well, how about that, eh? What a great ending to the show. How nice, eh? It was supposed to be a great ending. The monarch coming out of the chrysalis as a glorious butterfly. Would have been a heavenly ending. But no, we end up with a hellish ending of it being devoured by a frickin' parasitic fly. How great, eh? So, I guess I'll just end this show with me singing and performing the song Heaven and Hell. This would be appropriate. It's not what I expected to be doing at the end of a summer type show, but here's me singing Heaven and Hell by Black Sabbath in a graveyard. See you later.